Okay, guys. I think there's a big criticism of films, watching films in your spare time, in self-improvement, because self-improvement goes hand in hand with a lot of entrepreneurial people, and entrepreneurship is all about, you got to basically sacrifice all your time to your success. And that's kind of what self-improvement says as well. And along with that, there's a criticism of mainstream media. Self-improvement is a bit of a edgy, it's a bit edgy in a sense. It rebels against the precepts of mainstream media, which says it says stuff that a lot of self-improvement people disagree with, like, it's all right, exercise isn't that important, you don't need a purpose in life, all this kind of stuff that I take from a lot of mainstream media. And obviously a lot of films are associated with mainstream media. So those are the reasons why I think it's unpopular in self-help, self-improvement. Because it's seen a bit of a waste of time. One, because you're not focusing on your success when you're watching a film. And two, because a lot of films are associated with, I guess you call it the legacy media, Hollywood films. They depict, it's not really, doesn't really celebrate strong men, blah, blah, all this kind of stuff. So, I appreciate a lot of the sentiment of this. However, I'm going to argue why I think it's still important to watch films. And I don't really watch a lot of films at the moment. I find it difficult to find the time. But I see that as being something I ought to improve. There's a certain amount of time that I need. I think if you live life to the fullest extent, you should watch a few films here and there. But let me clarify what I mean. So first of all, I think I'll go through both points that people raise against films and self-improvement. So number one is it's a waste of time. You should be focusing on your success, regardless of whether the film's good or not. Now, I agree that films don't necessarily improve your success, whether it be financial or fitness or whatever it is. However, I think it does improve. That's not the only metric to measure your life on. And yes, it's an important metric. Success is extremely important, but it's not everything. You shouldn't sacrifice everything for success. What you want to sacrifice family for your success? Probably not. So I think the similar thing goes for. Look, I think the real thing I want to achieve from self-improvement is not just binary success, although that is important to me. I just want to achieve a richness of life. Richness of life requires success. You need to be a success at something to live a truly rich life. But then also, you need to have a wide understanding of the cultural world you live in. And again, that doesn't need to be the only thing you know about, but you need to. I think films provide that, a sort of richness to your life. Now, let me be careful what I mean. I'm not necessarily talking about every film, because I think 99% of the films that I've watched or that I hear about are a complete waste of time to watch. I do get that, I mean, I'm not a massive Marvel fan. Maybe if I watched all of the Marvel films, I feel differently. But when someone puts one on, I just think, this is so boring. I know it's so predictable. I know exactly what's going to happen in every scene. You know, like, I don't know if you ever felt this, like where you're watching a film and you're kind of getting to the fight scene and you think, oh, it's nearly over. But then there's kind of, it's so predictable, most films. So I'm not necessarily recommending watching those kind of films. If you're with friends and someone chucks it on, fair enough. I'm not saying avoid it like the plague, but when I'm talking about watching films to increase your richness of life, I'm not really talking about that kind of film. I'm talking about cinematic masterpieces that have stood the test of time. Like when people tell me that they haven't watched The Godfather, I'm sorry to sound like a film nerd, but it's just like, that must be, I can't imagine my life not watching The Godfather. It just gives you such good lessons for life and models to follow. I watched Better Call Saul recently. That's a great sort of, he's such an interesting character. It's a great insight into sort of hustle culture in the US. Fascinating to watch, and I think about my life in a different way through having watched that film, that series. So it depends what film you're talking about, but some films I think just provide you a richness of life that you otherwise wouldn't have. All the big politicians and generals of the ancients, the classical period in Greece and Rome, were all very educated on literature. You couldn't sit down and watch a film in those days, but people would read lots of poetry. Alexander the Great. Oh, sorry about the wind. It's a bit windy, guys. But Alexander the Great would go to bed, and before he goes to bed, he'd read a page of the Iliad. Well, not a page; it'd be on a scroll, but you know what I mean. So, that the idea that literature that wasn't just information, wasn't just non-fiction, was going to benefit the richness of your life is quite an old thing. It's quite recent that we kind of think of films as a blanket term as just being a complete waste of time. So that's reason number one. I just think I haven't really perfected this in my own life. I don't know how much watching a film is enough. How much is it, distracting from your life? Because it's very, and that's the problem. It's very easy to see films as a form of escapism, which is dangerous. I can see that, and it sort of saps the energy out of you, the excitement of you. So you want to watch films that kind of add to the richness of your life, not replace it. That's the best way. That's the best way I could put it. So I hope you found this interesting. If you've got any opinions on it yourself, I'll be very interested to hear, because it's something that I mull over a lot.